Hey everybody, it's Brent, Central Arkansas. Today I'm going to start a grow for a live product microgreens grow using clamshells and the medium polyester or PVC coated polyester screening. So I've got a clamshell here, and what I did was I took the screening material that I use and I cut it to fit the bottom of a clamshell, because this is where the product is going to be placed in this clamshell. So this fits the bottom. In any container you use, you can cut it to fit. So that's what we're going to do. I've got these here cut pieces. They're going to lay on top of my mesh tray, and I've got enough cut out, including all these extra here, to fill this bottom tray. It's actually quite a bit, so we're going to get a lot of containers. The first thing I need to do is I need to wet the screen so that these will stick to it without moving side to side before I put the seed on. Alright, I've wet the screen with my basic antifungal there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to place these right over the hole. I'll do a couple for you, I won't bore you with the whole thing. Actually, yeah, they need to be oriented this way for maximum coverage. There we go. And I'll put the rest on and I'll bring you back. Alright, I managed to get 17 of these screens on here, and putting the basic antifungal on top kind of locks them in place. They don't move around as easily. And now I'm going to select the seed that I want to grow, and I'm gonna put it on top in a dense manner. I'm not going to measure it, pre-weigh it, the seed before. I just want it to be dense because the bottom of the clamshell is smaller than the top, and so whenever I pull these out, I want them to open the microgreens to get wider to fill the top of the clamshell a little better. So let me pick the seed I'm going to grow and I'll show you. Putting the seed on is not too difficult really. I just put the seed in one of these small little mouthwash cups. And I've got 4 different kinds of things growing here. And if you put the little mesh pieces next to each other pretty tight, it's easy to spread these. Let me do a little bit for you. If they go a little bit over, that's fine, not a big deal. If they fall through the screen, through the mesh, or not the screen, but through the mesh in between the screen cracks, that's fine too. It's not that much. So yeah, it's not difficult to do this if you have them lined up and you choose the same and the same number so you can spread them evenly. So let me finish this up and I'll show you what it looks like. There we go. We've got all the seed I'm going to grow. We're going radish in these two. You notice I have a little piece of tape here. I think that's medical tape. It comes off real easy. And you'll see here that this one is in between these two. This is broccoli, red acre cabbage going here, and some red Russian kale on this last row here. So we got, I didn't tell you, this is Rambo radish, Waltham 29 broccoli, red acre cabbage, and red Russian kale. And those are the 4 types we're going to grow for this live product. Now the live product, when you're done, this can be used for personal use, or you can put slap a label on it and sell it. Either way, I think it'd be great for personal use. Actually, you just grow everything you like that grows similarly at one time, and just, you know, put it in the clamshell, and you're good to go. Throw it in the fridge. So I'm going to spray it, start the germination process, and then I'm going to take it outside. I'm in my bathroom now because it's got really good lighting. I'm going to take it outside and we're going to put it in an assembly and start the grow. what it looks like now. We're taking the blackout dome off and the cover. We don't want these to get too tall. Looks like the broccoli is really going crazy. The radish, it had some issue with getting moisture, keeping moisture on it, so they're a little behind. But anyway, mostly it's looking good. We did have some problem with germination in the radish. I know that was me because I didn't get it soaked I didn't keep the seed soaked so it could germinate well. But the seed that did get germinated are doing fine. All the rest is looking really good. Now we're about to harvest this broccoli here, and I put it against the tray of the real broccoli here. This is what a good broccoli harvest looks like. So we'll be harvesting this probably tomorrow for the broccoli for sure, and this little bit of radish. I know the radish can be done. It's just I messed up on that. But yeah, the cabbage is looking really good too. That might go a little bit longer. And what's that on the end? The kale down there is looking really good too. All of them are looking good actually. Here's the microgreens. We're going to do this in the house because I think the lighting's better and it'd be easier to show it. And what I've got here are, I believe it's 4, 8, and then 8 more of these, which are broccoli and 2 radish. So I've got, yeah, I've already mentioned the types here. I've got kale, red acre cabbage, Waltham 29 broccoli, and Rambo radish. And we're going to put them in these clam shells. But before we do that, we have to put a piece of paper towel on the bottom because we're going to do a live sale or a live packaging in clam shells. Now this is bleached paper towels, regular. I'm doing this for demonstration, so if anybody wants to copy, you can use unbleached, of course. So let me, I'm going to wet one of these, one strip of these, like that, and I'm going to fold it and put it in the bottom of each one, and then I'll bring you back. Okay everybody, let's get this thing started. What I've got here are my microgreens that we're going to package up. I've got some clam shells that I bought some time back in anticipation of this. I've got my paper towel pre-wetted to the appropriate size here. And I've got my labels pre-printed just so that it'll be nice and organized so I can do this for you. Alright, so let's get started. Alright, there's 3 for you. I'm going to do all the rest and I'll bring you back and kind of display it out for you. We're back. I wanted to show you what it looked like. I got 17 packages. I've got 3 red Russian kale. I've got 6 red acre cabbage, 6 broccoli, and 2 Rambo radish. And one of the things I did is I noticed that the bottom cover here, the paper towel, was kind of coming up the sides and stuff, so I folded it to fit the bottom so it looks better on the package from the side. Now, this isn't something that is an end-all be-all. This is something that just popped into my head, and I'm just showing it to you to inspire you. Now, if I had to do it over, I would probably get a little taller container, maybe a little wider. We'll see when we do the weight here in just a minute what kind of weights we get on these, but I think it's an overall good thing. I'm going to also take these and put them in a 10-20 tray and put just enough water to keep the bottom moist. And what I'm trying to do with that is I'm going to simulate if you were to take these to a chef or something like that and let them grow let the cotyledons and the plants continue to, the micros grow a little bit more, and see if that's doable with this configuration. Every one of the screens had great root growth, came out of the mesh tray, so I see that as definitely feasible, but we'll carry on just a little bit further after this and see. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to weigh a few of them and show you what they weigh. Then I'm going to put it in a 1020 and we'll finish off the video. Let's set the scale and put an empty clamshell on. It's 0.6. Yeah, you can see it in there. That's what I was trying to make sure why I'm not sitting yet. So zero it out, and now I'll come back around. I'll do a couple ways here. Okay, this is Red Russian kale. That's 2.7 ounces for that one. Let's do another Red Russian kale. 2.85 ounces. Let's do a red acre cabbage. This one was a little smaller. 2.1 ounces. So far it's looking like about 2 ounce packages here. This one is heavier, I can feel it. 3.05 ounces, and obviously they're going to vary some depending on how precise you get, and with the seed you can measure the seed and put it on each one and all that. Also, I wanted to show you here, this one doesn't have a label on it, and that's because if you want to do it for personal use and just store them in the fridge, you can reuse the screens over and over and not even put a label on it. You can pretty much kind of tell what they are and stack them in the fridge. So that's why I did that. So this is kind of a two for video. It's packaging for sale and packaging for home personal use. Okay, this one is broccoli, 2.45. Grab one here. Wow, 2.45. Let me make sure you can see that. Yeah, you can. Okay. We'll do one more broccoli here on the bottom. 2.65. So these are 2.5 ounce. 2.5, yeah. 1.35, and I expected that because the seed didn't germinate as well. And that was my fault, as I think I've already shown. And this other radish is going to be really light too, 1.55 ounces. So yeah, all these were roughly between 2 and 2.5 ounces. And so, like I said, I think I would go with a little taller package, at least taller. I don't know what a good, because I've not marketed this, I've not talked to anybody, I've not even looked at a whole lot of videos on it actually. So I don't know the best way to sell to anybody, a chef or a restaurant or a package for use in grocery stores or what have you. I don't even know what the pricing is going for, but what I'll do is at the very end of this video I'll put a pretty close guesstimate of what each one of these, what a sample one of these would cost to grow. Like one package of this. I'll put the overall cost, and then you could say, if you're a grower, you could say like, hey, I know I can sell that for $3 or $4 or $5 or whatever it costs, and and Brent says that it costs about whatever it's going to be. So I think I can turn a profit if I go this route. So anyway, again, it's about sparking ideas. That's basically the reason why I'm doing it. I'm also doing it to put into the book. So yeah, let me show you what I'm going to do with the 1020, and then after that I'll put the costs associated with one of these. Alright, I'm going to put 6 of them in here, and because they're going to be in the dark most of the time, and because it's cold, the paper towel's not going to dry out, and the microgreens aren't going to grow very much. So I'm thinking the live grow should stay alive a lot longer, so I'm going to let them stay in here for a while before I publish the video, and we'll take a look at them after a few days. Alright, we're back out at my microgreens table, and that's because it's just the best place. It has lighting, everything like that. We're going to continue to grow inside the packaging, you can see where it, when I packaged like this, what is this? This one is kale. Like when I packaged this kale, it kind of compressed a little bit. That's fine. The same thing with the broccoli. So we're going to fluff it a little bit. Just like that. Make sure you're in here. The radish is kind of sparse, but we're going to continue to grow that. So there, we're just fluffing a little bit. We're going to put them underneath the lights, and we've got water in here. We just have to be careful not to let it get stagnant. And we're going to let it grow a few more days, probably 2 or 3 more days, and just take a look at the cotyledon size, the overall radish and broccoli and kale size, and just get a comparison just to see if it'll continue to grow inside of a container. So like if you deliver it to someone, they could do the same thing and just, you know, keep it out in the open, grow it, snip off some as they need it, and you know, that's the idea. After one day, these things are already popping up. Great. Right, these micros are crazy big now. Let's take these out and compare them to the refrigerator micros. I brought these out from the refrigerator, and I'm going to open them up and compare them to those. That's the difference between the two. I did want to say that there is some frozen damage here. They got too cold in parts of it. The top of my refrigerator's evidently freezing part of it. But what we're going to do anyway is we're going to take and we're going to put these in this and see if we can get them to grow after days in the refrigerator. You can see some damage on the outsides here. That's because they got frozen. You can see that those are still thawing, but they'll die too. But what we're trying to do here is we're trying to see if they can be stored in the refrigerator for a period of time and then taken out and grown days later. Looks like these micros are doing great. They started taking off and growing again. This is the one that had the dieback in it. The others are doing great. Here we go. This is the last part of the video here. And you can see that we have grown these things. This one had damage. And there was a little bit of damage on a couple other spots on the others, but for the most part these things sprung back, and I really believe that if you take baby micros and you keep them a good bit shorter, in other words you harvest them earlier and then put them in here, I think they can be stored for quite a few days in the refrigerator and then brought out a little at a time or all together, whatever you want to do. For chefs or personal use or what have you. Place them in a little bit of water and they will continue to grow. I really believe that. That's what this proves out. And yeah, this has been a pretty exciting overall grow. Personal use, commercial use for clamshells. Spread you guys. We'll see you later.